Welcome back, radiant soul of Leo. If these words have found their way to you now, in this exact moment of your journey, it is not coincidence. It is divine timing. You may have felt it already, quietly rising beneath the surface of your golden heart, a tension you can't quite name, a flicker of discomfort when certain people draw near your family, a sudden, almost primal need to stand guard. This is not paranoia. This is your intuition speaking in the sacred language of protection. And as a Leo, you were born with the heart of a guardian, a noble spirit forged not only for admiration, but for defense of what is sacred. There is a shift in the air, subtle yet undeniable, and it is targeting what you hold most dear. Not your image, not your success, but your family, your home, the heartbeat of your world, and the universe is now placing before you a spiritual mirror, a chance to see what has long been hidden in plain sight. The smiles that feel hollow, the friendly questions that dig too deep, the strange coincidences that seem to pull loved ones apart when they were once so tightly woven. These are not accidents, these are signs. You, Leo, are entering a cosmic chapter, not of performance, but of protection. The light you radiate so effortlessly has begun to disturb the shadows, and those who could not compete with your brilliance have now turned their attention to the one place they know your strength is vulnerable, your inner circle. But this moment is not meant to weaken you. It is meant to awaken you, to call forth the deeper dimension of your power, the part of you that roars not on a stage, but in defense of your pride, your tribe, your blood. In the next few moments, I will guide you through the signs you've likely already sensed, but dismissed. I'll show you how to spot the quiet saboteurs, those who masquerade as allies while planting seeds of discord, and most importantly, I'll help you step fully into your divine role as protector of your family's energy field, because when a Leo rises in defense of what they love, the shadows have no choice but to retreat. So, breathe deeply. Center yourself. This message is not just guidance, it is activation. A sacred flame is reigniting in you now, and by the time this video ends, you will no longer doubt the signs. You will know, and you will be ready. You've likely felt it, quiet at first, like the distant echo of thunder on a clear day. But now it hums louder in the background of your awareness, a pressure in your chest, a restlessness you can't explain. This isn't anxiety. It's not overthinking. It's your intuition, Leo. Ancient, precise, fierce. Something is moving in the unseen, weaving shadows where light once lived. A dark energy, subtle yet persistent, is circling closer to your home, seeking not to challenge you directly, but to fracture the foundation of what you cherish most, your family. This presence does not shout. It whispers. It doesn't confront. It conspires. It arrives masked as concern, as conversation, as companionship. And that's what makes it so dangerous. Because while your heart was focused on nurturing, on holding your loved ones close, someone else was quietly planting seeds of division, watering doubts, shifting narratives just enough to create distance where there once was closeness. You may have overlooked it, because as a Leo, your nature is to lead with generosity, to see the best in others, to give warmth even to those who haven't earned it. But now your instincts are pulsing with urgency, asking you to pay attention, to see not just what is being said, but what is being done beneath the surface. This isn't just a warning. It's a spiritual summons. You are not imagining the tension in your home. You are not overreacting when you feel the need to stay near, to ask more questions, to pull your loved ones closer. That is your soul responding to an energetic invasion, one meant to weaken you by isolating you from the heart of your power. But Leo, you are not made to cower in the face of shadow. You were made to transmute it, to expose it with the sheer force of your clarity, your loyalty, and your courage. And so we begin here, not with fear, but with awareness. Because once you recognize the game being played behind the curtain, you are no longer its pawn. You become the force that ends it. In the next part of this message, I will help you see exactly who is pulling the strings, how their influence has crept into your sacred space, and what steps you must now take to close every energetic doorway they've slipped through. Your roar, Leo, is sacred, and when directed not toward the stage, but toward the protection of your kingdom, it becomes unstoppable. Now that you've begun to awaken to the subtle undercurrents surrounding your home, Leo, it's time to look more closely, because the truth is rarely loud. It lives in details, in small shifts, in moments you almost brushed off. But these are not coincidences. These are signals. And if you're willing to open your inner eyes, you'll see that the patterns have already begun to form. Pay attention to the words that linger too long in your mind, the ones spoken with a smile, but leave behind a strange taste of doubt. "I'm just being honest," they say, or "I thought you should know." But truth, when rooted in love, heals. These words do not. They fracture. And it's not what they say, it's what they plant. Seeds of suspicion between siblings, quiet comparisons between partners, subtle innuendos about loyalties. These comments, though wrapped in concern, are not neutral. They are designed to create cracks in what once felt whole. Also, take note of who is always there when the energy turns heavy, who always seems to be present when arguments break out, when misunderstandings spiral, when tempers rise without clear cause. It's as if chaos follows them, not overtly, but like smoke trailing behind a flame. These individuals often play the role of mediator or concerned friend, but somehow their presence never quite settles the storm. Instead, the storm seems to deepen, and your family, your pride, begins to fragment in ways that don't feel natural. And then there are those who inquire too much, who ask about your family's struggles with too much curiosity, who seem eager for every update, especially when things are hard. They show up under the guise of support, but their attention lingers only when there's pain, never when there's peace. Their questions are framed as compassion, but their energy feels invasive, as if they're not truly holding space for healing, but collecting information to use later, like weapons in velvet gloves. Leo, these are not harmless coincidences. They are footprints left behind by those who walk in shadow. Your sacred responsibility now is to stop dismissing these signs. Your intuition is your compass, and it's pointing straight at the truth. In the next section, we will begin the deeper work, identifying the source of this disturbance, understanding their patterns, and most importantly, learning how to protect the golden heart of your home from further intrusion. Because once a lion sees the threat clearly, the hunt ends swiftly. Now that the veil has lifted and your awareness has sharpened, Leo, it is time to act. Not with panic, but with purpose. The universe has not revealed these patterns to you so that you may dwell in fear, but so that you may step fully into your sacred role as protector. This isn't about confrontation or chaos. It's about restoration. It's about reclaiming the peace that was always yours and reminding those around you that your home is not a playground for manipulation, but a sanctuary woven with loyalty, trust, and love. Your first task is to bring your pride, the ones you love, closer than ever. Not through suspicion, but through sacred connection. Create space for honest conversation. Sit at the dinner table longer. Ask deeper questions. Listen more carefully. Share memories. Share laughter. Let them feel that their roots are still strong. That no matter what winds blow from the outside, the foundation within is solid and sacred. When your family feels emotionally united, when the bonds are reinforced with intention and love, outside forces lose their power to divide. Discord only finds fertile ground where disconnection already exists. Your presence alone, when full of warmth and sincerity, becomes a healing balm. Next, you must draw a clear line in the sand. Boundaries are not a sign of fear, they are a sign of wisdom. Begin observing who has access to your family's most tender spaces, emotionally, physically, energetically. You are not obligated to keep people close simply because they've known you long or because they come wrapped in politeness. Let your energy speak where your words don't need to. Begin to withdraw from conversations that don't feel clean. Limit what you share with those who seem overly curious. Protect not just your loved ones, but also their stories, their struggles, their sacred unfolding. Because not everyone who listens deserves to know what lies within the walls of your home. And above all, Leo, trust the fire in your belly. That uneasy feeling, that moment you felt like something was off even though you couldn't explain why, that was not your imagination. It was your intuition, your divine radar calling you back into awareness. It was the lion within you rising, not to attack, but to shield. Do not rationalize it away. You were born with an instinct few others can match, and right now, it is your greatest gift. When something feels wrong, it likely is. And when your soul urges you to act, even if your mind hesitates, it is not fear. It is truth knocking at the door of your knowing. What you do now, in these next quiet days, will shift the course of your family's energy for weeks, even years to come. In the next part of this message, we will begin identifying the wolves who wear sheep's clothing, and will prepare your home not just to withstand shadow, but to glow with a light so strong no darkness dares return. You're not just guarding your kingdom, Leo. You are fortifying its throne. Leo, you have long been known as the leader, the radiant flame, the one who enters a room and shifts its atmosphere with nothing more than your presence. But there is a deeper truth that many forget, even you at times. Your light does not only exist to inspire or to shine, it exists to protect. Beneath the golden mane, beneath the warmth you offer the world, lies the ancient soul of a guardian, one who stands unwavering when those they love are in danger, one who would face down storms with nothing but the fire of their heart to keep others safe. This moment in your life is not a detour. It is an initiation. You are not being asked to become someone else, but to remember the part of yourself that has always been there, waiting for the right time to rise. The part of you that senses threats before they fully form, that defends the innocent, not with noise but with presence, that knows exactly when to speak and when to watch in silence. This is the sacred protector energy of Leo, not the performer but the sentinel. And right now, the stars are aligning to awaken this force in you more powerfully than ever before. You may feel tired, you may feel emotionally stretched, you may even wonder why this challenge had to appear now. But understand this. What you are facing is not here to weaken you. It is here to reveal you. The universe has chosen this exact chapter in your journey to remind you that your power is not measured in applause or admiration, but in the safety you create for those who depend on your strength. And when you step into that truth fully, when you rise not to be seen but to protect, something extraordinary happens. Your family, fragmented by whispers, shaken by unseen forces, will begin to remember who they are too. They will feel the warmth of your presence not just as love but as a shield, and slowly the threads will weave back together, stronger, tighter, unbreakable. This is the hidden grace of your trial, Leo. It is not punishment, it is preparation, a divine opportunity to anchor your household in truth, to cleanse your circle of those who no longer belong, and to rise, not as the star of the show, but as the quiet force behind the curtain, who ensures the whole world doesn't fall apart. And when you walk through this fire, not only will your family be restored, but your soul will carry a deeper strength, one that only emerges when the lion remembers that the heart is both weapon and sanctuary. If what you've heard in this message has stirred something deep within you, if a part of your soul whispered, "Yes, I've felt this too," then you are not alone. The path of the guardian is not always visible, and those who walk it often do so in silence, carrying the weight of vigilance without recognition. But now, more than ever, it is time to speak. If you have sensed these same energies, if you've noticed strange shifts in your home, if you've seen the subtle ways your family has been pulled into conflict, If you felt that shadow pressing against your light, then your experience holds value beyond what you may realize. Share it. Give voice to what your heart has known, not just for your own healing, but for the healing of others walking the same path in isolation. When you share your truth, you not only validate your own perception, you become a beacon for another Leo who has been questioning theirs. This space is more than a channel. It is a sanctuary for those who feel the call to protect, to awaken, to stand in the unseen battle for their sacred circle. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to stay close, to return when your strength feels low or your clarity becomes clouded. Subscribe to this channel, not out of habit, but as a conscious act of readiness, because what is coming next will go even deeper. You will learn how to spot the wolves dressed in silk, how to cleanse your home of stagnant energies, how to fortify your inner circle so no shadow dares to cross the threshold again. The next messages will not only guide you, they will arm you with truth, sharpen your perception, and remind you that your roar does not need to echo to be powerful. All it needs is to be present, deliberate, and rooted in love. So stay with me, Leo. The light we are building here is not just for you. It is for every home that still believes in peace, in protection, in the unbreakable bond of those who choose to love fiercely. Your kingdom is sacred, and it's time the world remembered that. And now, beloved Leo, as this message draws to a close, I want you to take one final breath, not the kind that prepares for battle, but the kind that remembers your power has never been outside of you. It has always lived in your heart, in your loyalty, in the quiet strength you summon when others depend on your presence. You are not just a sign of light. You are the flame that refuses to go out, even when the wind howls. This moment you are living through is not here to break you, it is here to refine you, to call forth the version of you that doesn't just shine for applause but stands for something sacred, the harmony of your home, the safety of your family, the truth of who belongs in your circle and who never did. And as the days unfold, you will notice the shift. The fog will lift, the masks will fall, and you, Leo, will not just survive this storm. You will become the calm that follows it. So walk forward now, not in fear, but in knowing that your intuition is sacred, that your instincts are divine, and that your family is not only protected, it is watched over by the fiercest guardian the stars could send, you. Until next time, stay aware, stay open, and never forget. The lion doesn't ask permission to protect its pride. It simply does, and in doing so, it becomes unstoppable.